Your reference angle is the angle associated with the angle theta, where your reference angle is acute. Now, angle theta is your given angle, but the reference angle is this angle theta with a little apostrophe. And always keep in mind that your reference angle must be acute. The reference angle is the relationship between your original angle, which would be this angle here in the diagram, and the closest x-axis. So in the diagram, this x-axis would be the closest one to the angle itself. So the reference angle would be from here to here. Because the original angle, this angle, is not acute. But this angle is. So it says, let theta be an angle in standard position, which is this yellow angle. The acute angle, and then we call this theta prime, formed by the terminal side of theta, which would be this side here, and the horizontal axis, which would be this axis here. So what we're going to do is find the reference angle for theta prime for each of the following. But before we do that, I would like to show you some formulas that we can use that will make this a lot easier for us. So notice I've drawn 4 little coordinate planes here, and we're going to go through some scenarios. So the first scenario is that the original angle, theta, is in quadrant 1. So if the original angle is in quadrant 1, then the reference angle is also in quadrant 1, and the reference angle and the original angle are exactly the same thing. Now the next scenario is if the original angle is in quadrant 2. So if the original angle is in quadrant 2, then the closest x-axis would be the negative x-axis. So this angle would be theta prime. So to find the measure of theta prime, that would equal 180 degrees, which is this straight axis on the entire x-axis, minus theta, and that would give you your reference angle. The next scenario is if the original angle is in the third quadrant. So that would make this theta. Now in this case, theta prime would be right here. So to find this angle, you would have to say theta prime equals theta minus 180. And then we have one last scenario, and that is where your original angle is in quadrant 4. So this is a very large theta. And in this case, the closest x-axis is right here. So this is your theta prime. And in order to find that, we would say theta prime equals 360 minus theta. But in each of these cases, we have a formula that we can use to find what theta is. It is a little tricky though, because all of these formulas that I've given you are in degrees. But if you want to convert them to radians, all you have to remember is that 180 degrees in radians is pi. and 360 degrees in radians is 2 pi. So now we have them all in radians and degrees. And this is all a review from Math 3. So let's go ahead and find our measurements for these given problems down below. So for the first one, it says 120 degrees. So the first thing we would need to do is find which quadrant that falls in. So 120 degrees would fall into quadrant 2. So what we would need to do is we would need to just say theta prime equals 180 degrees minus 120 degrees, and that gives us 60 degrees. So theta prime, or your reference angle, is 60 degrees. And then let's look at the next one. So we have 220 degrees, and 220 degrees falls in quadrant, 225 falls in quadrant 3. And that formula is theta prime equals theta minus 180 degrees. So that would be 225 minus 180, which would equal 45 degrees. So theta prime is 45 degrees. And then we have 330 degrees, which falls in quadrant 4. And the formula for that is theta prime equals 360 minus 330, which is 30 degrees. So theta prime is 30 degrees. Now, question D is a little trickier because this is a negative angle, and we would need to figure out what that angle is in its positive form. So we need to take negative 135 and add 360 degrees to it to get it into its positive form, which would be 225 degrees. And we've already worked that problem above, so this would have exactly the same reference angle, 45 degrees. Now that we are on question E, we are dealing with radians. So 5 pi radians, we would have to figure out what quadrant this lies in. And for some people, knowing which quadrant that a radian lies in is something that could be quite difficult. So I would recommend that if that is difficult for you, a little trick is that you convert this to degrees first. 5 pi over 6 times 180 over pi. Pi's would cancel. 6 goes into 180 30 times, and 30 times 5 is 150 degrees. So theta in degrees is 150 degrees, which puts us into quadrant 2. And we can use our, oh, hold on, there we go. We can use our, I keep messing up, 180 minus 150 to get 30 degrees. So our theta prime is 30 degrees, but we need this in radians. So we can convert this one more time to radians. I'm going to zoom in for this. So we have 30 degrees times pi over 180, and that would be pi over, let's see, the zeros will cancel. 3 goes into 18 6 times, so pi over 6. And that would mean that our theta is pi over 6, or our theta prime is pi over 6. And I know that was extra work with converting to degrees and then converting back to radians, but if you have a hard time visualizing radians, the extra work is worth it. So then let's go back and look at, well, not go back, let's go forward and look at f. F is negative 2 pi over 3. So we need to add 2 pi to this to get it to be positive. It's just like the same thing as adding 360 degrees to the degrees to get it to be positive, because 360 degrees is the same thing as 2 pi. Well, when we add fractions, we have to make sure they have common denominators. Negative 2 pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3 is 4 pi over 3. And now that I see that this is 4 pi over 3, I can do a few things. I can convert this to degrees and see which quadrant it lies in, and then find the reference angle. Or I can try to figure out which quadrant it lies in without having to convert it. So remember that this quadrant is 0 radians. This one is pi over 2, pi, and 3 pi over 2. So notice here that our radians here is 4 pi over 3, which would put us between pi and 3 over 2, because this is 1 pi and this is 3 over 2 pi. 4 over 3 pi is less than 3 over 2. So that would put us in quadrant 3. And in quadrant 3, we've got theta prime equals theta minus pi. So we would have to say theta prime equals 4 pi over 3 minus pi over 1. We'd have to get a common denominator to subtract those. 4 pi over 3 minus 3 pi over 3. 4 minus 3 is 1, so that'd be pi over 3. So theta prime equals pi over 3. And that saved us having to convert and then convert back. And we can try to do g the same way. So let's start with negative 7 pi over 4. We want to add 2 pi over 1. But we need to get a common denominator. So this becomes negative 7 pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4. So that's just pi over 4. And we know pi over 4 is between 0 and pi over 2, so it's already acute. So theta prime is pi over 4. And then, last but not least, we have 3 pi over 4. And that would be in quadrant 2, because that's 3/4, which is between 1/2 and 1. So we would use quadrant 2, we would use theta prime equals pi minus theta. So theta prime equals pi minus 3 pi over 4, and we need to get a common denominator. Oops. So we multiply top and bottom here by 4, and that would be pi, or 4 pi over 4 minus 3 pi over 4. So that's just pi over 4 as our theta prime.